Alright guys, so a couple people have asked about Company Portal. Going to give a little look at it from our end. So you can see kind of the home screen here, kind of recently published apps. If you use featured apps, kind of like the target things everyone uses, it's just a category. You can pick when you upload. Kind of to the right over here, you'll see a computer name. I just have it off screen because I was going to hide it. But here you go. You got your menu here on the left. You go to your apps. This is kind of your list of everything. The categories, this is what you specify on that first upload page. We actually created some categories, so we have like Autodesk one. I've pushed out. You can see like here, for example, desktop connector failed. This is my test machine at work. I actually ran out of space because I was deploying stuff. But you can see a bunch of the apps we've made, the 2026 apps here. Kind of scroll through. I mean, we go back pretty far, 25, 24, 22. We have a category for updates and add-ins. You can see those. So, wherever we put them. A lot of these we set to automatically install. For example, like this Revit update, or kind of this one we did on the other video. If they have 2026, this automatically installs, so they don't even have to come and do this. But it's here in case something needs to be reinstalled or something like that. You can see the option, things like that. Kind of go back, go into our categories. Again, whatever you define, you can click in. Some of these are default, like productivity and business and things like that. You don't really have to do it. You can also look at downloads and updates. It's going to take a second because it's going to go through the list, kind of show what's required. You can kind of see the list. We have a lot of programs sitting in Intune, a lot of updates, things like that. One of the things we really liked also, like you'll see here, ones without icons, like the identity manager licensing update. That's required for all machines, so we don't even really show that as a icon, but it'll automatically come down. You can see required stuff will automatically come down. If we make a version of CAD required for everybody, you'll see it. But for example, say like what's something I don't have installed on this machine. Here's an example. Here's like content catalog. That's actually already installed, so let me go back. Sorry. You'd come in here. You can hit install. A good example would be something we kind of have for don't have for everybody, like this photo sketcher app we use. You come in here. If you didn't have it installed, it would say installed. You can uninstall it. That's what those registry keys are for, and reinstall it. No need for IT to take care of this. You could do this yourself because it'll run with the system credentials, so your IT staff has a light and load, which is nice. Go to see like company portal. Enscape's an interesting one because of the way it installs. Sometimes that has to be repaired, so someone could come in here, do an uninstall, and then reinstall it. Sometimes if like a new version of SketchUp or something happens to the plugins, doing that will kind of clean it up. So there's that. Just take a second to refresh. But the key here is the size of your package is going to depend on this experience. So like something that's not large, for example, Creative Cloud is actually coming as a Microsoft Store app. So it's like a built-in one. So you can just find that in the store, but let me find something. Unfortunately, everything's installed on my machine. This is the test machine, but kind of where I get registry keys from. So you can see that, if you wanted to uninstall, assuming this had an uninstall key, this will go through the process. This one's pretty small, but it'll start to queue up. It'll let you. Some of these controls of uninstall depend on what you've selected. I think this is one that we require, so it'll uninstall and reinstall. So there's that option. Try to find one that I don't have installed on this, which I think is some of the 2026 because I made the package on my home machine. So we'll go into one once this refreshes. So for example, I know where do I have it? It's already installed. Try to find something not installed. You can see desktop connector is queued up. This is an automatic required one, so it's kind of going through the process now of kind of reinstalling because it failed before. So we'll let that kind of run and kind of go through, and you can see that kind of happening in real time. Let's go into some of the other apps. So you can see here what's installed, what's not. Let's say, for example, I wanted, AutoCAD Architecture 2026. As an end user, I have the install button here. Just come in, click that. It queues up. It'll start to download. It'll, unpackage. Since our script moves it to the C Autodesk folder, it'll go there, start the install. But all this depends on your internet speed, kind of what you have going. But you can see everything that kind of comes down is going to get hit and scanned by your, virus scan. We use Defender, so that's running. That's going to check every script, every file. You can see the installer running from desktop connector still, so I mean that's going to hold up before this goes. This is kind of, I don't want to say not 100% accurate, but it's not 100% accurate because it starts right away with kind of this process as just assuming based on time. So a lot of the Autodesk stuff takes longer than the 20 default minutes this thing kind of queues up for. So you may see that it may still be going. We tell users for like Revit specifically, do it at the end of the day. It could take like an hour. It's like 12 gigs of download, and then running the installs. And then because we make all the updates required, once the main version's there, it's going to go through all the updates that we've set up for that version. So it'll get them their INI file, everything like that. So that's just how that kind of comes down. You can see it, they can see it, they kind of get an idea. We do put notes, like for some of our programs, like if you're installing another version of Revit, you can't have any version of Revit open, so that's like a reminder for staff. But just to give you kind of the rundown, this is what Company Portal looks like for the end user. Device just shows the computer name. You can click in it, kind of hit sync if something's not syncing right, but that's kind of the process here on the other end of the queue. Alright, hope you all have a good one.